Right.
Why Cinderella for the final production?
Well, this was the first full-length ballet that I made in 1998, and it's always been a dance, a story that's been near and dear to my heart. You know, like all children, I grew up with this story, and we conclude the season because it's Mother's Day weekend for our performance, and I mean, who doesn't love a great love story, right?
You have Frank and Jamie doing this performance.
Right.
They're married.
Yes.
And this is Frank's final performance with Ballet
Yes,
Austin.
yes.
Is this more significant for yourself and obviously for this couple?
Well, it's a significant milestone for Frank. He's been here, you know, over 15 years, and that's a long time in dancer years. And he was one of the first dancers that I hired when I became artistic director. And so he's a very special person to me, and that he and Jamie can dance together on this final performance is very, very special, I think.
You have been here as well,
Yeah.
15 years?
Since 2000.
Since
Yeah.
2000. How this studio was built, opened up in 2008.
Right.
You came from where it was close to the University of Texas,
Right.
that old fire
30th and
station.
Guadalupe, which was an old firehouse, one of the oldest firehouses in the city, right? And the company, when it first became professional, that was their original home.
How has it changed for you from coming over there to coming over here? Not to mention, the world of ballet has
Right.
not changed. It
Right.
remains as it was when this art form came from Europe. But we live in a day and age that is digital, that is instantaneous. Does that affect the ballet?
Well, everything affects the ballet, right? The type of body that's dancing ballet is not the same as it was 400 years ago, you know, even 200 years ago, even 20 years ago, you know, bodies are different. The way we think about dance in general is a lot different than it was even 10 years ago. You know, there's a great interest in pop culture around dance, and ballet's not left out of that, right? So it changes. And I think that that's what continues to make it relevant. You know, if the art form can continue to speak to a contemporary audience, that makes it relevant and interesting. Right?
As the artistic director and choreographer, the pieces that we see on stage are your vision. What's that process? Well,
I'm like any other artist, you know. And being an artist is like any other job. You know, this is what I do, and I can't imagine doing anything else. I come in every day. I work with dancers every day. I make steps every day, and ultimately it gets formed into this thing called a performance. And we've been really fortunate to live in this particular community of Austin, because this city is one which prides itself on being innovative and interested in new things. And fortunately, I'm one of those kind of people. And so Austin has always embraced us as an organization. So we've been very fortunate here.
Last but not least,
Yeah.
what can the audience expect from Sunday's performance, and this Mother's Day weekend performance, I should say? We know the story, but if you had to summarize it just in a few words, and I know it's probably difficult, but what would you tell us?
Well, this ballet is like a storybook come to life, right? You know, the sets and costumes are beautiful and sumptuous. The Austin Symphony Orchestra is going to be playing this beautiful score by Alexander Glazunov, and of course you have these dancers portraying these characters. Most significantly, these two dancers, Frank and Jamie, who are actually living this story. So it's really going to be a special thing that can only happen in live theater. So people have to be there to really fully experience it.
And it will be beautiful.